Let's try and keep it at 30.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get going then, shall we?
Yep. Bit of admin today.
Yeah. Okay, welcome to A Long Time Ago. I'm Adam, joined as always by Martyn.
Hi there.
I think, well, it's been just over a week since we last podcast. No, nearly 2 weeks since we last podcast.
2 weeks.
Did a podcast. And I think part of the reason for that is because you were upset with me for not seeing The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I've only just forgiven him.
And then I think we should sort of let people behind the scenes a little bit. I'm not gonna watch them. You wanted to get me to watch them, didn't you?
I can't believe you simply
watch Lord of the Rings.
You simply won't watch them. It's a crazy statement.
You sent me the message saying, right, I've decided you're going to watch Lord of the Rings, and I said, look, I'll let you in on the secret. I've seen the first one. I didn't get on board with it. I fell asleep during the second one, and I haven't even bothered with the third one because it's just not for me. I don't know.
It's just, I don't want to rehash it, but I just can't believe. I mean, it's okay not to like something, and I respect the fact that you don't like it, but not to give it a chance.
It's not that I don't think it's that I. Well, I suppose it is that I don't like it, but it's just not my sort of style. I don't know what it is. Which is odd because it's a fantasy thing, isn't it? And we're on here doing a Star Wars podcast, which is all fantasy, but it's sci-fi. So I don't know.
Yeah, I genuinely think if you, it's really difficult because I know you don't have many hours in the day with family stuff and work, and that's totally understandable. And we're talking 3-4 hour movies here.
Yeah, exactly that.
So you would never be able to just sit and watch it in one go, which is kind of something you have to do to take the world in. So I totally understand it from that point of view. But I genuinely think, knowing you as I do,
yeah,
and perhaps sat watching it with me, and I'd fill in a few blanks here or there. I genuinely think you'd love it because and this is a God's honest truth. You are the first person I've ever met that says they don't like the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there's more people out there that do like them than don't. And so I should apologise to those people, but it's just not for me. So there you have it. I'm just putting that out
Don't
there
worry,
to
people.
all those people.
I'll get it back on board.
It's not a reason to stop listening, though. We're going to get back onto the Star Wars thing. It's
all 30 of you, please don't leave us.
Oh man, yeah. So that's the admin out of the way.
I was only joking though. I didn't speak to him because he didn't want to watch them, but it was kind of a funny joke at the time because I didn't hear from him for 2 days.
I did genuinely think you'd had enough of me.
Hey, no. If I can take your disrespect of the prequel trilogy, I can take you not liking Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah. Do you know what? Wow. If I've watched the prequels, maybe I should watch Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. So we've recently had the second trailer for Andor.
Yes.
We've also had the disappointing news that it's going to be moved back to September. Is it 21st?
21st, yeah.
But they are dropping three episodes.
Yeah, which is really, really, really kind of Disney to do that to us podcasters because obviously now we have to fit either 3 shows in one night.
Yeah. I was literally just thinking about that. I was like, oh no, how am I going to fit this in?
Yeah. Well, we've got to condense it all into one, which obviously then makes it a longer podcast because you can't simply just, spend half an hour talking about 3 episodes. Yeah. So we'll probably have to book a holiday for that.
We'll do so. We'll figure something out. We'll I don't know. We'll do them episode by episode, but we'll have to maybe do them one after one, the next night and then the night after that. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
But just be prepared that you're not going to get them released that quickly. I just don't have the hours. So
Adam, pulling the curtain back, does all the editing. So and he has a full-time job.
But I'm gonna get up to you. We're gonna come up and visit your place soon. So maybe I'll be able to show you a few things.
Yes,
get you to do some of it.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, yeah. Also, part of that, you can now listen to us on all of the podcasting things. We've been, all the podcasting platforms like Spotify and iTunes and whatnot. We should be able to. We should be out on those now, which is something we've been meaning to do for a while. But again, it's taken me a little bit of time to get on top of that.
We're new at this.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. But we'll always release YouTube first, and it's kind of a visual thing at times, isn't it? So
it is. Yeah, I think today's show might be slightly visual. Later on when we talk about something, but I was listening back to some of them audio wise, and actually they do work really well audio. Especially when we're doing the show reviews like we did for ObiWan. I thought it comes across really well in audio. But yes, you're right. If we are talking about something visual, you can always go over to YouTube and check that out there.
Exactly that. Yeah. Cool. So let's get on to the second trailer of Andor then. Thoughts?
What did you like?
You
go first.
Go on. I was just going to... It's exciting. It's exciting times because obviously it's made by the people that made Rogue One, and if you haven't seen our list, you'll know how highly we rate Rogue One. So that's something to look forward to. Hopefully they'll bring the same sort of energy that they did. I can't see why they wouldn't. And there are characters in there like Sol Guerrera that make their appearance again, and played by Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
So that's, it's good to see some familiar faces, and I think it's going to be something to really look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said on a previous podcast that I think this is genuinely going to be the sleeper hit of the year for Star Wars. I mean, we've had Obi-Wan, we've had Book of Boba Fett, and of course, being the prequel fan and the Obi-Wan and Anakin fan I was like, oh yeah, Obi-Wan's going to be great. But I always had this inkling that Andor was actually going to be much better because all I've heard about it is just a great thriller. And it's got lots of political stuff in it, behind the scenes of the Empire and in the Senate, and that's my kind of thing. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So I genuinely think this is going to be absolutely great from what we've seen so far. Just in the trailer that we just had out, without doing a scene by scene breakdown, there was a couple of things I picked out. There was seeing the Senate building again from the prequel trilogy. That's great. And I don't know if you noticed that they put the Imperial cog, the insignia of the Empire, at the bottom of the platform where the Chancellor or perhaps the Emperor would be standing. That was quite a nice detail. I
didn't notice that. So yeah, that's good. So that's been rebuilt after Sidious was throwing them at Master Yoda. It's all been rebuilt. So
he was destroying democracy. Yes. They've obviously Saw Gerrera, as you mentioned. So great, we get to see a slightly younger Saw before he gets pretty messed up. Obviously, I always forget that we saw Saw first of all in the Clone Wars. He turned up.
I think I've seen that episode, but it's been a while.
So it's great to sort of we've seen him now in Clone Wars. We'll see him in Andor. We've seen him in Rebels, and then we'll see him in Rogue One. So we've kind of got a full arc now for him, which should be nice to see. And I'm sure a lot of this is going to link into Rogue One in some way. So
that's really definitely exciting. Should. I expect
the shot with the Star Destroyer coming over at the beginning, where you heard the ship breaking atmosphere, and everyone looked up.
Everyone looking up, obviously.
That was a brilliant shot, and that kind of brought home to me. And I read this the other day that they've done this in practically, everywhere has. They've gone and filmed it on location. The volume wasn't used in the slightest for the entire show, and I think when you watch it, I think you can tell that the volume hasn't been used because it looks spectacular. And I don't want to harp on about Obi-Wan because I loved it and it, but one or two criticisms that we perhaps had, it didn't seem as epic. The locations weren't quite as epic. And when you look at this, you think, if only they'd done ObiWan like this and not perhaps done it so much in the volume. Because don't get me wrong, I love the volume. I think The Mandalorian is absolutely fantastic, but I thought ObiWan suffered a little bit, and this seems to be proof of that. I think it looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
There was a parade of clone troopers, so we're either going to see scenes in the Clone Wars or towards the end of the Clone Wars. So that's really exciting. So I'm always happy to see, knowing them Star Wars and Disney and Lucasfilm, there'll probably be an Order 66 scene in there somewhere.
Well,
they would like to slip them in everywhere. Don't they?
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, not at all. No. More Order 66 would be great. I think it's really, really interesting, if not highly exciting, Star Wars exciting, I suppose, but seeing Mon Mothma, her saying, well, they're thinking I'm a nuisance, they're not going to see what I'm really up to, is great, because that means obviously she's going to be on in the Senate, acting sort of a bit of a nuisance, but really she's in the backgrounds creating the Rebel Alliance. So that's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that. Overall, I mean, it looks absolutely great. I think 12 episodes is a great number as well. We can get excited about that every week. Because there's that many episodes.
Keeps us busy as well. Less for us to think about with our episodes, but that's not the way we're looking at it, though.
No, not at all. Yes, I mean one other thing is as well, and my favorite planet in Star Wars is Coruscant. And it's going to be so nice to see Coruscant again. Perhaps some of the long shots of the Senate and the city in general. Do we know what sort of state it's going to be in at that point? Well, I think it'll be exactly as is. I mean, because it was never attacked or it was never damaged in any way. No, but the people of the area where they're not much an imperial. The thing is, from what I've read, it's one of the core worlds, Coruscant. It's like right in the center of the galaxy, and people in the core worlds are the upper class, if you like, in the Star Wars universe. And you know how they always portray the imperial officers in the Empire as tough Englishmen, very poshly spoken Englishmen. Well, that's kind of, I think, to represent the sort of people that you would have in the core of the galaxy. So I don't think, to be honest with you, Coruscant will be too much up in arms that the Imperials are in charge. I imagine obviously in the lower levels of Coruscant and stuff like that, there'll probably be discontent, but there was discontent back then down in the lower levels when it was the Republic. So I don't think it'll make too much difference. But just seeing it again, and I mean, I said in our top 16 films and TV shows that I think Revenge of the Sith is one of the best looking films in all of the Star Wars films. It will not, especially the shots of Coruscant. But I do think seeing it in 2022 special effects, and the detail, to do a lot more for it. It's going to look fantastic, and I hope that it comes across really well, so that they might think about going back there. For other shows and films, that would be really cool. There's no I'm just sort of thinking about characters that are likely to appear. There's been no sort of mention of the droid, who I cannot remember. K2SO. Alan Tudyk's. Yes, there's been no mention of him so far. But I think we're all expecting it, aren't we? No, Alan Tudyk came out a couple of years ago now, when they were just making the show, saying that he's actually not going to appear in the first season. He's going to be in the second season. So I'm sure. So they've already confirmed a second season, have they? Or? Yes, second season, and each 3 episodes of the second season will take place in a year. So we're 5 years out from Rogue One. So season 2, first 3 episodes will be 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, and then we'll get to Rogue One. Gotcha. But I'm fairly sure we'll see Alan Tudyk in this series, but he'll be in the last episode, I should imagine. Right. I'm expecting Bail Organa again, because Haber in the Senate, so why wouldn't he be there? apart from that, though, I don't think we'll see the Emperor. I genuinely don't.
No.
I think I've said before, at this stage, he wasn't really.
It was more in hiding.
He was more in hiding, practicing the dark arts of the Sith, as Dominic Monaghan would have us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can't really think of anyone else. Oh, Krennic. I reckon Krennic could show up. Director Krennic. Yeah, there's a good possibility. But apart from that, not too sure.
Who was the actor for him?
Ben Mendelsohn.
That's the one. Yeah, the Kiwi guy, isn't he?
Yeah,
Kiwi,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he is Kiwi.
Yeah.
He could be Australian, actually. Thinking about it, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's not important.
Australian or New Zealand.
just that I knew it was him. Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. I think it'll be.
I can't wait.
Be good stuff. Yeah. So moving on, there's a little bit of I don't know if you want to take over on this bit. We're going to talk about that little collection behind you, are we?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a collector, as I've said before, for years and years and years, and there's obviously figures out there that I would consider holy grail figures.
Yeah.
And the collection behind me, for those who don't know, is the vintage collection, and it's kind of a nostalgia trip back to the 70s and 80s for the original figures that Kenner released. And as soon as these all came out in 2010, I had to collect them because it just brings back so many childhood memories.
Yeah.
And there's as with all collections, there's always certain ones that are really difficult to come by. And I have to say, last week for me was absolute.
It was a busy week
because it was a busy week in collecting, and I just all of a sudden out of nowhere had an opportunity to collect 3 Holy Grails, and there's probably 5 Holy Grails in the vintage collection from my point of view that I don't have, and I managed to pick up 3 of them last week.
Yeah.
My credit card statement isn't thanking me.
Yeah, no. Neither is your wife.
Neither is my wife, no. But yeah, I just thought I'd share with you 3 of them. And the first one was this. That's going to be difficult to show on camera. I don't know how that's coming out.
We'll drop an image in over the top. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll drop an image. It's a graded yak face, which was a figure that came with Jabba's sail barge, which was a vehicle that HasLab released, and you had to back it, and you had to get a certain number of backers, and once they had a certain number, they would produce it, but then they wouldn't sell it on the open market. The only people that could buy it were the people that backed it.
Right.
And I'm not too sure on how many people backed it, but anyway, this figure came with it, and it's
the only way then.
No, a few thousand, maybe 5,000, something like that.
Wow.
So the only way you could get this was to buy that, and it was just too expensive for me. I couldn't afford to buy it at the time. So I managed to get a graded example of this, and it's a 90% gold, which is 1 grade down from the best grade you can get. So I managed to pick that up. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
The next one.
I don't know if you want to go into Yak Face as a character at all, or should we save that for another episode a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we haven't got a mega amount of time.
No, that's true.
I'll just suffice to say he was a background character in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi,
right?
And he wasn't given a name until later down the road. But originally, the Yak Face figure, I'll give you a bit of history on it, was a figure that was only released in the UK and Europe when it came out in 1984/5, I think it might have been, and that which then, of course, makes it an absolute collector's item. The original version, I mean, especially in America because you couldn't get it. And loose figures of Yak Face have been known to go for absolutely thousands and thousands of pounds, just loose, not in a card.
Not even in.
So you know that's kind of got a bit of a history in itself. That figure, but yeah, perhaps another way down the road we can do some like figure.
Yeah, I think it'd be
reactions or reviews or something.
Be interesting to look into it a bit more.
Yeah,
because I was just going to say, what's amazing about Star Wars is everyone, even the background characters, they get a figure. More or less, all of the people, anyone that appears in Star Wars gets a figure.
Well, you'd think it. You think it, but there's more people that don't have figures than
actually
do have figures. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If you think of Jabba's Palace or the bar scene in A New Hope, you've probably got 5 or 6 characters from the bar scene that have actually got figures in the vintage collection anyway.
Yeah, that surprises me actually.
Yeah, so
it is characters like Yakface that I probably wouldn't even have noticed.
No. I mean, he gets a couple of seconds screen time.
Yeah, which is mad.
Yeah. But they have to in a way, because there's only so many Luke Skywalkers in Jedi Knight outfits you can release. Or I mean, Darth Vader. They must have released 500 Darth Vaders over the last 30 years. And how many variations can you really have?
Well, that's it. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
The second figure I got is this beauty. It's Jar Jar Binks in carbonite. Now, this figure was
Can I just say that's the best place for him?
Well, a lot of people think that. I'm not one of them. But now, this figure came in a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive pack. So again, you're probably talking thousands maximum, and they made no more of these. Now, and this was a set that was a carbonite chamber that was made out. On the outside, it had 6 figures. That were in the packaging that Kenner rejected before they chose this kind of packaging in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
And in the middle of the carbon trays chamber was this, which popped up. This figure popped up. And cool. Again, I got this, and this was a 90% graded figure, so still really highly graded.
Yeah.
And it's one I've been after for absolutely ages.
Yeah.
Just truth be told, I've managed to pick up 2. I've got one behind me on the shelf you might be able to spot behind.
Oh, wow.
That one's not graded though.
Okay.
But if anybody who's watching this fancies a Jar Jar Binks in carbonite, please send your offers via Instagram, Twitter, or in the comments section. But yeah, this figure is probably, in my opinion, probably the second hardest to get hold of. I would say possibly third hardest to get hold of.
Right.
So yeah, really chuffed I got this one.
Yeah. Well, so what are the what would you say the hardest to get hold of are?
Well, there's 3 figures that are really difficult. There's another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure set, and it was called the Death Star set. And it was a circular Death Star, and inside it you opened it up, and there were, I think it was 12 normal carded figures, but they had Revenge of the Jedi, which was the original name for Return of the Jedi before George Lucas changed his mind, because he thought Jedi don't seek revenge, so he changed it to Return. And they say you could buy all those 12 figures separately, so I've got all of those, but in the center there was 2 mini figures, and one was a mouse droid and the other one was Salacious Crumb from Jabba's Palace, little alien that sat on his throne,
his pet, if you like.
Yeah. And they were only about, I'd say, probably 6 inches by 5 inches. These little cards, tiny little things they were. And I've seen them for about £1,500 each. And that's just too much. I could never afford to pay out that. But they're probably the last 2 now that I need. So again, anybody out there who wants to sell me those cheap,
good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yeah, now I've told you how much they were. But the probably the holiest of holy grails is this one. Now, this, my friends, is a Canadian VC20 Yoda. Now, this one is.
I can see it in your
I'm so excited.
Grin, how excited you are.
You don't know how difficult it is to get hold of this, and it's unpunched as well. So, which is very rare. Now, this was a Yoda which was meant to be put on a Revenge of the Sith card, because if you look at the figure, it's a figure that matches the Revenge of the Sith scene where he's fighting the Emperor. Now, in Canada, for some reason, and I don't know the full reasons why, they stuck it on a Return of the Jedi card, even though it should have been an Empire Strikes Back card. So not only have they put it on the wrong picture card, they've also put the wrong
text
film.
Yeah.
On text. I mean, originally it came out on an Empire card back in 1980.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how many there are of these, but there aren't many because, of course, most people, when they get figures, they actually play with them and rip them open. Now this, I mean, you rarely ever see them anymore for sale. I mean, I very, very rarely see them for sale. So I spoke to somebody. I bought it from a chap in Denmark.
Wow.
It's not graded. I'm going to get it sent off to be graded because it's in that good condition. But it's absolutely stunning, and you can tell how overly happy I am that I've got this, and I'll never ever get rid of it. I'll never sell it.
And you lock it away in a safe.
I'll lock it away in a safe. But I mean, it's so rare. I can't tell you how rare it is, and the prices they go for on eBay, you know, they're crazy, absolutely crazy. So thank you to
the man.
I won't say his name, but the chap in Denmark.
Maybe. Well, hope that he's not listening because he might think, "Oh, I could have got more."
Well, possibly not, but he would. You know, I think there's people out there called scalpers, and there are people out there just to make money on these things. Whereas I'm a true blue collector. Yeah, you know, I'm in it for the collecting, and I don't really ever any intention of selling anything. You know, I'm a completionist as well when it comes to this, and I'm almost there, but yeah, I mean, he was one of those guys, and he simply just, you know, had his full collection, and he didn't, you know, look at it anymore. And he's thought to himself, well, what's the point of me having someone else might enjoy it? And, you know, I got in contact with him, and, you know, the rest is history. But
here it is.
Yeah, here it is. So that will take pride of place behind me for future shows. I don't want to show off. I just, you know, because I know you're interested in my collecting and stuff, and by no means that you've become a collector, but you know, I've sort of pointed you from time to time towards figures that I think might be worth you getting as an investment, you know,
exactly that
for the future, because
I don't plan on doing anything other than that with them. So
no. We have to
I would like to be able to sort of display them a little bit more like you have, but now
well, you'll be able to do that soon because I'm going to give you some cases when you come.
That's the thing. I've had them for months now, and they stay in the box. You know, I don't want any damage or anything coming their way. So that's good.
Yeah, they have to be mint on card, as we say.
For sure. Yeah, but I mean, you know your stuff. Obviously, you wouldn't have such a big collection if you didn't know what you were looking for and what you were after. Is there? I mean, do you plan on getting a few more then? Is there still? You're always on the lookout?
I'm always on the lookout, but I mean, I've been after having the week that I had last week. I'm into a forced break at the moment on collecting. I mean, the guy that I got the Yoda from, the guy I got from Yoda did actually have the Salacious Crumb and the Mouse Droid, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. I mean, I would be sleeping on the streets. I'd have my figures, but I'd be sleeping on the streets. No, I'm joking. But you know, it's one of those things that ordinarily you would never have the opportunity, because each of those came from different people. As well. You know, you'd never have a week like that. And I just, you know, I bit the bullet and did it. But now it's time for a bit of a break. But you know, that's fine. That's what collecting's about. Once you've collected it all, you know, you've got it all, and then, you know, you've got nothing else to collect. So in a way, it's quite good to always have that one that you're after. And you know, I'm not one to pay if I see it, and I'm not the sort of person to pay the first price that I see either. No. I'll you know,
shop around a bit.
Never buy things from eBay because, you know, prices are overinflated because they have to cover the costs of eBay charges and postage and stuff. That would be my tip to people. But you know, I must actually create a Facebook account for this channel because you know, I managed to get one of those through Facebook, and I don't personally have a Facebook account, but my wife does, and she just one day, you know, saw this Star Wars collecting what would you call it, group I suppose. And it was just through chatting with fellow fans and fellow collectors that, you know, I managed to get on to somebody. So
that's great.
So,
it's cool. Well, I should say, you know, we're posting pictures daily on our Twitter and Instagram of the vintage collection. So, if you want to follow us there, that's always going to be good.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, like and subscribe to our channel. If you're listening, leave a review, and we'll catch you next time, I think.
Yep. We'll be together in person next week, won't we?
Yeah, excellent. Cool.
We'll see how well that goes.
Yeah, well, we could be in there for hours.
Cool.
All right, then.
Stuff. Take care, everybody.
See you later.